What's going on right now is that the veil is finally lifting. And what I mean by veil is the illusions that these darker forces have put in place. As in, let's say, a 9 to 5 is a program that they've put in place for us to follow. And most of us are like, oh, 9 to 5 is just a regular thing, just a part of life. But deep down, I've always known that shit was bullshit. Like, why work 40 to 60 hours a week at a job that's okay? That's like, it's cushy. It's comfortable. You know, right after college, I worked for WGBH, designed some DVDs for PBS, and it was a very cushy job. I got paid pretty well. There'd be bagels. We had bagels every Friday. And some team meetings with good food and stuff. And they fed us well. But I also noticed that a lot of people who worked there were overweight and kind of just complacent. Worked there for 10, 20, 30 years. I fucked this one up. And I realized that I didn't want to be one of those people who just work at a company their entire lives, retire at 60 and then start their life. No. I made the leap. I decided to leave my job, as uncertain as I felt. This took like a month of gathering the courage to do so, because, you know, I went to school for 4 years. My parents helped pay for college. For me to get this 9 to 5, very stable, very great benefits type job, and for me to leave it, like, I was especially coming from an Asian household where parents have very high expectations of you, and if you kind of like fuck up, it kind of looks bad on them. So, but like, I knew deep inside, you know, I got to a point where during lunch I would just like sit by myself on the rooftop and have lunch on my own, and at certain points I would just go to the telephone room alone and just bawl my eyes out because of how much I did not like being there. I was just resisting who I was. It was easier to just quit my job. It got to that point. It was easier to quit my job than to stay there and like fake it. It was exhausting. It was so draining just faking it every day. Like being like, good morning, how was your weekend? Oh, it was great. I went to this restaurant down the street. Oh, my kids, this and that. It was just the same old shit, and I don't understand how, like, in crossword puzzles, I hate crossword puzzles. While I was at this job, I was reading a book called The Seth Material. If there was a book that changed my life, a single book that changed my life, the trajectory of my life, it would be The Seth Material. Basically, Seth is a non-physical consciousness that was channeled by this woman, Jane Roberts, in the 1960s. She got in contact with this entity, this personality. Seth talks through her and has basically written like several books on the nature of reality beyond what we can sense with our 5 senses. And basically the main takeaway from the book is that you create your own reality based off of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. And, you know, this is similar to the law of attraction or whatever. But Seth breaks it down in a very methodical, almost scientific way. And it's crazy, yo. It's like, this table once was an idea. This rolling pin was an idea. This spatula was an idea before it came into existence. That's with our dreams as well. That's with the house that we want to move into in the future. That's with our future dream car, our dream girl or boy. It all starts within the mind first, the mind. And when I realized that, I was like, shit, I could create my life the way I want it to. And the only reason why it's like this right now is because of all the beliefs that I've accumulated over time. And these beliefs are programmed within us at a very young age. That, you know, we need to go to school, we need to go to college, you know, like major in something that'll pay you a lot of money, and then work for the system. This is how they control you, though. This is how they siphon your energy. This is how they drain you, by making you think that you can't go after your dreams, your dream life, because this or that, because all these excuses that you make up for yourself, all these beliefs, self-limiting beliefs. Everything is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, the only thing that's holding you back from living the life that you truly want is yourself, quite frankly. And that's why I don't resonate with a lot of these movements that are happening right now. Because there's just a lot of, like, blaming and victimizing, and I'm not about that. You know, I want to empower people and allow people to realize that wherever you came from, you can make it. If you have the will, if you have the beliefs. I haven't, it was like 3 years ago that I've quit my job. And, you know, all of these fears came up. How am I going to make money? How am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay for groceries and food? Like, am I going to end up homeless on the street? Are my parents going to disown me? Yell at me? Etc., etc. First of all, my parents didn't even, like, they weren't even mad. It was very strange. They were just like, did you find another job? And I'm like, no. And I think they were mainly just concerned for me. Which is, I guess, better than them being mad and disowning me. So, wow, I'm really fucking these up. But basically, all these fears are gonna come up. But look where I am now. I have a house to myself. It's not mine. It's my sister's. But I still have it to myself. And I pay as much rent as I did at my old apartment with 4 other people. Oh, 3 other people. Just look at this. So anyway, back to my story. Quit my job. I was scared. Cried a lot. Took some months off and eventually got a job at Life Alive, this vegetarian cafe that I loved going to in Boston. And I worked there for a year. It was a great time. I learned what I needed to learn. After that, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Took some months off, but within these months though, I realized that, like, I'm still supported. I'm still okay, even though I have to be, you know, maybe more mindful about how much I'm spending and stuff. It's like I was able to have so much time to really focus on myself and better myself and go to Muay Thai, work out more, eat healthier. When you are in a place of limitation and restriction, that's honestly where the most growth can happen. It's because when you don't have so many choices, you just got to be resourceful and think about what you can do right now. So I was in that state for a long time, on and off, the past few years after quitting my job. I was just like, honestly, it was one of the happiest times of my life. Just being free, just doing whatever I wanted to, and trusting more, trusting in the fact that I was supported in anything I did. You know, and it was scary and uncertain at times, and, you know, there was just like $200 in my bank account at one point, but look where I am now. So when I look back, you know, those things really weren't as scary as I was imagining in my mind. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be as scary as you picture it in your mind. So what I want to say is just go ahead, take those risks. you came here to do that. You came here to transcend beyond limiting beliefs and fears that you have created yourself, that have been also implanted within us from a young age by design. We're here to let go of all of that and realize that there is a higher power, or the universe, or source, or nature that governs everything, that allows the processes, the billions of processes in our bodies to do the things that they need to do without us having to think about it. You know, like, how beautiful and profound is that? Everything is working synergistically and beautifully and harmoniously already, and we don't have to think about it. That's how nature is. And so what we have to do is get back in touch with nature, get back in touch with the existence of this force that permeates everything, and trust it and lean into it. And I'm not saying, you know, completely lose yourself and just in the faith. You know, you have to have a balance of practicality and spirituality. Because there was a time in my life where I was just like, I just let go completely, and I was like, okay, God, give me what I need. And that did not work for me either. It did not. So what you need to do is take inspired action. Be curious. Follow your curiosity. Like, if there is a place that you've wanted to hike for a while or go to for a while, just go there, and without any expectations, just follow your curiosity. And, you know, it's like, channel that inner child. You know, when you were a kid, what was life like? You didn't think about your bills, you didn't think about your rent, you didn't think about all the stupid politics and news and shit going on in the world. You were just in your own imagination, and it was fun, and that's how life should be. We have hopes and dreams and wishes for a reason. And what we do, though, is we just ignore them, or just tell ourselves that, you know, maybe, you know, some other time in my life when I'm not dealing with all the bills I have right now in my life. You have to be the person you want to be in the future right now. Everything exists right now. We're literally stuck in the present moment. You have no other choice but to be here now. So if you want that future to be here now, to grab it, bring it to the present, you have to literally become that person that you'd imagine yourself. And me making these videos, it's uncomfortable, but I know in the future, like, this is what I want to be doing. I want to be talking to people, I want to be helping people, and I want to be expressing myself and my truth. And so channel that person you want to be. Imagine that life you want to live. During meditations, I like to visualize the type of future I want to live and imagine I'm already there. I don't want this video to go on for too long, but basically, take risks, follow your dreams. That's all.